Well, hello everyone. This is Pastor Dennis. It's been a while since I've done a video. Sorry about all that. Things have just been busy this summer, and I had planned on doing things and just didn't happen. But I thought I would do one. I want to kind of start to do these again, hopefully to have a conversation and to kind of talk about things. And I wanted to talk a little bit about why do we donate? Why does a church donate items? Um, think about that a lot because this week is our last Sunday that we're accepting things for the school tools drive. Um, and wanted to hopefully send this out to folk. Um, one, as a reminder, but two, to even ask why we give. Does it make a difference? We do this every year to raise money, or not money, but to raise, to give items to kids throughout the St. Paul area who don't have enough money to buy school supplies. Um, and I know that there are times you wonder if this makes any difference. I wonder if it makes any difference. Um, we also did earlier this year a collection of collecting pet food um, to give to Open Hands Midway, our food shelf that we support. Um, just because there are a lot of people who, when they're looking for food, they also have pets. And how do we help those who have pets? I mean, does this make a difference? Is this really just a band-aid to addressing these very important issues? And I'll be honest, I think that sometimes, and well, actually most of the times, these things are band-aids um, to issues like homelessness or hunger or poverty. The items help people, but they don't necessarily really solve the problem. So then you wonder, why do this instead of doing things that will address the root causes? Well, when I think about this, I remember actually a verse, actually preached about this earlier in the summer from Acts 4. It's the end of Acts 4, verses 32 through 37. And it's telling a story about the early church and just kind of talking about how the church would gather together, that all the things that they had in public in their possession, really they kind of gave for everyone else to share. And sometimes we look at this and say, oh, this is a great thing and we need to do this. And yeah, I think that that's important. But there's something sometimes that we miss, or we sometimes say this should be some type of societal thing. And I don't think that that's what the whole point of here. And I'm not saying that we at church should start giving up all our items to put them into a pool. But what's interesting is that they felt so kind of changed by meeting Jesus and understanding who Jesus was through the witness of the apostles that they just gave up everything. They realized that these things weren't the things that possessed them, that they were to be given, they were gifts that they received and they gave them to others. And so there were people who sold land and sold it to others, to the church, so that the church could help others. And there was one guy, his name was Joseph. He was so moved that he gave his land over, um, and he sold his land and gave the proceeds to the church. And what's interesting is that he laid it at the disciples' feet. This was kind of an act of obedience. And what was interesting was that this guy also was given another name, Barnabas. And Barnabas actually later on became a partner with Paul as a missionary. So they went throughout the known world spreading the gospel. And that all started because he felt in his heart moved to donate the money that he had received from sale of a land to the needs of the church. And by the way, Barnabas, the name Barnabas is interesting because it means son of encouragement. Barnabas became a follower, and he became a follower of Jesus, who then encouraged others, who gave hope to others. So why do we donate? We give of our money and sometimes of items, and sometimes items that we have, because at some level, God gives these things to us. God gives us our income. God gives us the things that we have. And we also know that God has given us life. And in gratitude, we give to others. It's an expression of thankfulness for what God has done. And the thing is that that type of giving does make a difference in the lives of people. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, there was a musician, a Christian musician named Ray Boltz, and he had a song out called Thank You. It's kind of a very schmaltzy song, but there was something very meaningful about it. In that this guy kind of goes to heaven and he meets basically all the people that have been affected by what he had given. And I think that there's something important in that. And like I said, the song is really kind of corny, and I'm pretty sure Ray Boltz later on came out of the closet, and I would not be shocked if he kind of disavowed this song. But I still think this song had meaning, because when we give, especially when we are giving in some ways out of what God has done in our life, it can make a difference. It makes a difference to give warm socks to someone who is homeless. It makes a difference to give pet food so that someone who is getting food from a food shelf can also feed their cat or dog. It makes a difference to get school supplies to a young child who can't afford to go down to Target or Walmart to get school supplies. Is any of this going to change the world? Probably not. And I'm not saying, and I think we should, especially as a church, focus on those bigger systemic issues that cause hunger and homelessness and poverty. We should be asking our state and federal and local governments to be involved in trying to solve these problems. But we should also give, even if it doesn't make a big difference, because it does make a difference in someone's life. And it is also doing God's work. And that can make all the difference in the world. God in Jesus Christ made a difference in our lives. So let us, in thanks, make a difference in the lives of others. That's it, everyone, for this week. I will see you hopefully next week. Take care. Godspeed. And I'll see you all very soon.